Good morning. It's Monday. And I was thinking, I'm sitting in my car. An ambulance is going by. I do not live in my car. I do not sleep in my car. I sleep at home in a bed. I'm very thankful for that. I've never been unhoused, but I'm ready. I'm ready if it happens, because you just never know with these, housing prices. But so far things are good. You can see I'm well fed, right? Anyway, I was thinking, if I would have done what I said I was going to do when I said I was going to do it and had done it, life would be easier if I would have done it. But then I thought, well, sometimes we don't do what we say we're going to do and we just don't get it done, And so I'm talking about way back, rewind, probably before maybe some of you were born, or, when we were much younger. Well, I was younger. We're all younger in the past, right? Duh. Anyway, so in 2005, when I moved to where this location is, which I'm not living right now at, because I'm not too far away at my mama's house helping her, but because of where I live, aka manufactured home community, mobile home park, trailer park, whatever you want to call it, it's my home. But we have to pay our rent regardless of whether we live here or not. So I feel like I have this very expensive storage unit. But in the scheme of things, if I was living here, in here right now, it's the most affordable place I could live in. Actually, it was a good choice I made in 2005. It really was. But what I didn't do that I said I was going to do, and if I would have done it would have been better, is when I moved here, I was living in another place that the cost was a lot more. And I realized I had gotten like a little bit sick, a cold that went sideways, and like 2000, I want to say 2004, somewhere around there, not sure. And that's when I realized that, oh my gosh, if you ever became like sick that you couldn't work and you went on disability, you might want to look at the Social Security Administration site to see what your disability, if you became permanently disabled. And that's only if you like qualify for it, because they don't make it easy. But that wasn't my case. I missed some work. I have had a lot of, sick days. Even when I retired from my job, a lot of sick hours. And I didn't realize my job incorporated sick time with state disability or whatever. And so I ended up getting real sick. And I guess the first week you're sick, you don't get paid for. But, I was out of work for 2 weeks. And for me to be out of work for 2 weeks, I thought, well, I got months of sick pay. Well, that didn't happen. Anyway, I had to wait for the disability to kick in for the week that I missed. And yes, I was living paycheck to paycheck. It was a little bit difficult, but it was an eye-opener, because it was like, oh my gosh, if this would have been like a real disability, like I can't work anymore, my disability that I would get would not cover, and this is back in 2000, 4 or 5, wouldn't cover my cost of living. So I decided to sell where I was living. It was a condo. It had HOA fees, and I did not have it paid off. And I had done what many people did when I had bought it in 99 and the market started climbing up and I got equity. I used it as my own little personal piggy bank. The loans were coming in. You could get money so easy, but fortunately for me, I didn't over exceed the money I took out of it, but I did lose some of the equity because, I took money out. That's a whole other story. But, so anyway, I ended up clearing quite a bit of money once I sold it, and the people wanted me out, and they even gave me $5,000 more, get out. If you get out right now, we'll give you even $5,000 above the exit price. And it's like, bye, here's the keys. No, seriously, I went through a realtor. But anyway, the realtor was trying to tell me, Laura, you have this, chunk of equity. You could buy a beautiful home, and the interest rates were really kind of okay. And, and then you can refinance it. And everything was growing at that time. This is before, the market went down with housing. Right before, actually. So I ended up getting the highest price for my unit that has gotten, even now it's finally catching up, in 2026, because I look at the places, it's finally caught up. It took that long for the market to really catch up with those condos. But anyway, so I bought my little place here. I bought it new, had it delivered by trucks. They put it together. It was beautiful, and it was 100% paid for. However, it's sitting on land that we have to rent, and I live in a community and a state that has rent stabilization and laws that try to protect the mobile home parks. I know other states are like displacing people. That really scares me, because the community I live in California, you know, there is rent control on these parks. They've tried to like mess with it, and it's like there's a strong voice against it. But so far it's been good. But if I would have done what I said I was gonna do when I left that condominium, I said, well, like many people do, since I'm paying a lot less for my cost of living, I'm going to save every penny that I would have been paying. Well, that's what happens. You know, what I find in life is that you cut back a corner and then you find another corner to fill up or something, because I didn't save the same amount. Now, what is funny is, not haha, is I just paid my rent. You know, I'm neurotic. I pay things early. So my rent is already paid for this month. It comes on one of those portals and I pay it, and you watch money just disappear out of your, you know, banking accounts. But I paid it already for April. And now my payment was, what did I pay? Because it varies because of water usage. Even though I'm not here, but I still use the water and the washer and dryer to keep things operating, and take a shower once in a while, a bath once in a while, have things, you know, you have to maintain stuff. But I paid $900, I want to say, I don't know, it was like $908, because the rent went up this month because it follows the cost of living, the COLA adjustment. So it was like I think COLA did 2.8. And so that's what it does here on the land spot. But the community I live in, you have to pay water, garbage, sewage, and that's tacked onto the bill. So my land rent is X amount of dollars, and the other stuff is tacked on, and you got to pay the whole bill. So it's a little over $900. Well, it's the first time really that the real rent total cost has been over $900. But I know here I'm living in a community that you can't even rent a room for $900. And I have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, about 1,000 square foot manufactured home that's 100% paid for. And I've kept it in good shape. You know, I have videos where I'm painting it. I had the water heater just drained recently. It's got a new roof, all this kind of stuff. My lot rent is lower than anybody coming in here, along with all the older people here, not old age necessarily, but people who've been here a long time, because of the cost of living adjustment. Somebody coming in here right now, if I sold my place, is going to be paying $1,500 a month for the lot rent, where my lot rent is a little over $700. It's just awful. But somebody coming in, and if they have the cash and they're paying $1,500 for something, they'll be happy too, because they'll have more space than they could get out on the market and apartments and all that. So I guess it all works out. But back to, if I would have done what I said I should have done, but I didn't do it, it would have been a good thing to get it done. But I didn't do it, so it's okay. It didn't get done. But I have done better, you know, and I realized when I looked at those condominiums I was in, the HOA now, when I was there, it was a little over, I want to say it was closing in on $300. It's now like $520. So I'm thinking, wow, my HOA is creeping up, almost, you know, getting closer to the land rent here. But yeah, so I guess it all just works out. But anyway, I'm sitting here in my car. You know, I got particle board, I got the cushions, I got everything set up if I have to live in this car. And I know there's friends of mine and family that like, Laura, why do you think you're gonna be like having to live in your car? Well, I live in California. I live in very seismic active area. It's, you know, the Bay Area of California. You got the Hayward Fault that connects to the Calaveras Fault. We're extended out, but they found a new fault in 2014 heading out to Napa. You know, there's faults that they don't even know, you know, so it's like, and I know that, you know, people do just get displaced because of disasters. So I just want to be able to maybe live in my car, sleep in my car, or drive my car to some motel that hasn't been like, damaged or something, you know. But then I got to think, you know, I am married and I do have my mama, but you know, part of me wants to get a van, you know, and then I want to get I'd like to get a Subaru Outback. That's what I'd like. But it's like, then I think like, Laura, this is more money. The car is paid for. Yes, the car is paid for and it's still running. It has 53,092 miles and it's almost now 10 years old. Anyway, I got to get back home to the mama because today is her day that we wash her sheets, and she likes to take a bath today so she can get into clean sheets tonight. So anyway, today is Monday. Whatever you were going to do before, do it today if you want to get it done. I don't know. It's always a new day. Have a good one.